Welcome to Jets Rewind Plus. I'm Marty Schupak, and hopefully you listen to our regular podcast, Jets Rewind. This is where I get a chance to play coach and general manager, and I like to move the X's and O's around. I have a few ideas of my own, and of course, I have nothing to lose because I'm not on the Jets staff. But quickly, I just want to go over the injury report of the Broncos, and it's fairly long. Essing Bassey did not practice. Caden Stearns, a safety, limited. Deshaun Williams, limited. Quinn Miners, he's the guard. He did not practice. Josie Jewell, he did not practice. DJ Jones, defensive tackle, he's really good. He didn't practice. Russell Wilson is limited. Tyreek Cleveland was limited. Melvin Gordon, full practice. Damari Mathis was limited. He's a quarterback. We want him to play. I'll get into that later. Eric Saubert, full practice. He's a tight end. Billy Turner was limited. Quan Williams was limited. Okay, with the Jets, we know Jermaine Johnson did not practice. Elijah Moore, we know the situation. He didn't make the trip. That will have to work out. Dwayne Brown, limited. Ashton Davis, limited with a hamstring. Braxton Berrios, limited with a back injury. Quincy Williams, limited. He's still fighting that ankle. All in all, though, one of the things I just want to mention, the Jets are in a much better position so far this year compared to other teams and compared to the Broncos injury-wise. Of course, we went through with Zach Wilson getting hurt at the beginning of the year. We've had some other minor injuries, but it's nothing like the last 2 years. If you remember, the last 2 years, the New York Jets had the largest percentage of their salary cap on the injured reserve, which is just unbelievable. It's just incredible. And maybe things are evening out, and they set up this new structure, this new medical staff at Florham Park. So maybe this is working out. But let's get right into it. We'll go over the Jets defense first. I like to tell you that I don't have these exactly as they match up. Usually I have it, like if it's a 4-3, I'll list it 4-3. And usually I listed 2 defensive backs, 2 safeties. For instance, if Michael Carter is going to be the slot, he might not be in there right now. But this is what I would do. I was intent last week, the last 2 weeks, of changing some personnel. I was probably wrong. I would leave the same personnel that Robert Saleh has, and it's working right now. They're doing a better rotation with their defensive line. So keep the same personnel. Just to talk about Denver. Denver they're really unorganized on the offensive end of the ball. Their special teams stink, but their defense is very, very good. So 1 out of 3, they're doing well. I think this coach, Hackett, is over his head. I don't know how long a leash he has. There's some pressure on him. Wilson has not looked great. He looked very good the first quarter against the Chargers. After that, like the walls caved in. Keep in mind, I put first and second down. Very under the radar was against Green Bay. The Jets defensive line did a tremendous job on first and second down, making Green Bay throw on third down. There were a lot of 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 10s. We have to do the same thing. With the defensive line, John Franklin Myers, Sheldon Rankins, Queenan Williams, and Lawson, we should do pretty well. The Denver Broncos do a better job pass blocking than they do run blocking, okay? The running back, he should start Melvin Gordon, but Melvin Gordon has been a fumble machine this year. The Jets have to really hit him hard, and they really have to try to focus on knocking the ball loose. What happens with these running backs sometimes that are fumbling a lot, they'll be so concerned about giving the ball up that they'll lack the initiative and the drive to hit the hole correctly because they're so concerned about fumbling. So I want the Jets, when Melvin Gordon's in there, knock the heck out of him, okay? I mentioned special teams. I don't want the Jets to blitz. If you remember, Queen Williams had that confrontation a few weeks ago, and the essence of it was that he didn't want a lot of blitzing. He wanted to leave it up to the front four, and it looks like he's been right because the Jets front four is doing fantastic. But what I would do, I would have either Alexander or Quincy Williams blitz once in a while on a delayed blitz. Now, you don't have to do it every time, but I don't want them to blitz all three at once, and I don't think they have to. The only receiver that I'm really concerned about, I'm concerned about two. Portland Sutton, the wide receiver, I would put Sauce on him. And the other one is he had a touchdown reception on Monday night. Dulcich, the tight end, this guy is a real talent. He's going to be getting better every week. So we have to watch these two guys. Judy has been a disappointment this year. He's dropping too many balls. And Hamler, I think he's only caught 4 balls this year. Okay. What I would also do, and I have it down here, contain and stun. All right. I don't care how injured Russell Wilson is. You have to contain the ends. You can't let him get out of there. All right. He's still dangerous. With that said, if you notice the last 2 weeks, the Jets have done a lot more stunting. Okay. Where they might put Lawson go on the inside, Queen Williams on the outside. I would do stunting on the pass plays and make sure also keep in mind too, we want Bryce Huff in there and we want to move JFM to the inside. Rankins, who's having a very good year, will come out and passing downs. Bryce Huff will be there. Now, what I think the Jets should try, all right, they're going to be focusing on Queen and Williams on defense, just like they're going to be focused on Breece Hall on offense. I would move him around, all right? And I might even put him once in a while at the left defensive end. We want to keep the offense of the Broncos always thinking, all right? We don't want to be, you could be too predictable on offense, but you could also be too predictable on defense. We want to show them different looks, okay? So basically that's it. Hit Melvin Gordon. Don't blitz, except you could blitz one linebacker on delayed blitz. You got to contain the edges, and you want to do a lot of stunting and move Queen and Williams around. Okay. All right. Now we're going to get to the offense in just a minute. The Jets offense, they have a number of challenges this week. And I truly believe they could overcome some of these challenges. And the Jets, I think they have a very good chance to win this game in Denver. A couple of things. Keep in mind, if you're the defensive coordinator of the Denver Broncos, remember, you always want to stop the strength of the offense. And right now, the strength of the offense is Breece Hall. So that's what Denver's going to focus on. Also, if I was the Denver defensive coordinator, I'd want to force Zach Wilson to beat us in the air. I'll say it again. I would want to force Zach Wilson to beat us in the air. And again, the way you do that is you tighten up the defense. They play a 3-4 defense. Now, I circled who I think are the best players on their defense. Bradley Chubb, DJ Jones, Baron Browning. This guy is outstanding. And Surtain, the defensive back. He's a very good close down back. They're going to play uptight. They're going to force Zach to throw. Okay? With the Jets, this is interesting. I had a fan of Jets Rewind. He sent me an email that, and I looked into it, and he's right. The Jets run better out of 11 personnel. That's one running back and one tight end, rather than 12 personnel, one running back and two tight ends, which you'd think it would have been reversed because of two tight ends. You'd think they had better blocking. Interestingly, the Broncos defense, they give up more yardage against 11 personnel than 12 personnel. It looks like they changed their players preparing for the pass. So the Jets should revert back to 11 personnel, one tight end. They were doing a lot of two tight ends. And what I would do, it's not a knock on Tyler Conklin. CJ Uzuma, he's been blocking like you wouldn't believe, like it's going out of style. Not just on that Braxton Berrios reverse last week. If you watch his blocking, he's been phenomenal. So I would run out of 11 personnel. The Broncos are better on a pass defense than they are on a run defense. This Surtain, he's some ball player, I'll tell you. He's a real good lockdown corner. He's every bit as good as Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner might have better stats this year, but he's terrific. And I'm going to say something. The strength of the Broncos can also be their weakness. Besides Surtain, Baron Browning and Bradley Chubb, who are playing the edge, and I might have this reversed. Browning might be on this side, Chubb might be on this side. I know they move around. On passing plays, over the middle, mid-range passing plays, they give up a tremendous amount of yards after the catch, and we all know it as yaks. And we have to exploit that. We could exploit that with quick passes. We could exploit that in a number of ways. The Jets should not hesitate to put Michael Carter in the same backfield as Breece Hall. You might want to do a play action to Breece Hall. That'll freeze the linebackers. And if Michael Carter is here, you put him out in the flat, either this side or this side, and you have the receiver run away from where you're going to pass it to him. It should be open. As you know, Zach Wilson, he's much better when he gets rid of the ball quicker than when he holds on to it. Okay, we want to get some of our players in space. We did a reverse last week. I would try it again, and they should even try a double reverse where you could hand it over to Barrios and hand it back to Garrett Wilson going the other way. This team is a big pursuit team. They can over pursue. The other thing I would do is, besides exploiting the linebackers in pass coverage, is I would attack Damari Mathis, who's in there. He's a weak link in their secondary. And he's been known to have a lot of pass interference calls on him. Whoever he's on, I don't know if it's Barrios. I don't know if it's Denzel Mims who's going to see action. I would try to exploit him. Okay. I would also try a moving pocket. Now, if DJ Jones, if he's out or not 100%, the Jets lucked out. But the Jets should have like a pre-snap signal where they can move the pocket away from Baron Browning. So if he's on this side, I would move the pocket this way. You're taking away half the field. You don't want Zach throwing across his body, but I think it's worth it. I think we have enough receivers in Breece Hall, and if Carter's in there for short passes, okay? Now, I want to point out one player who I was on last year in the first game, Corey Davis, okay? And I have him in the slot, and I'll tell you why. And I explained a little last week. I've been on this guy, but this guy has made some pretty good catches, but besides that, he has made some incredible blocks the last few weeks. To me, he's like a a tight end and a wide receiver body, the way this guy is, he's blocking relentlessly. If you keep an eye on him, and that's one of the reasons why I want to keep him in there as much as we could. If he's in tight in the slot, he could help out in the run game. Okay. I mentioned the moving pocket. The Broncos defense, when they sack the quarterback in the quickest amount of time in the NFL. Their average sack is in 3.76 seconds. They're the only team to sack the opposing quarterbacks average less than 4 seconds. So when they get to the quarterback, they do it pretty quick. So that's about it. We're going to close it out. The Jets have to play smart football. On offense, again, I like the 11 personnel. I want to exploit these 2 linebackers in pass coverage and attack Mathis if he's in there. And if he's not there, whoever's opposite Surtain, that's who you attack. I would not throw in his direction, okay? He's really good. Okay, we're going to close it out. Enjoy the game. It's a late game. Make sure you turn into Jets Rewind. We're going to try to be on Sunday night after the game. I know a lot of times after the game, it's tough to do it the same day. If we're not on Sunday, we'll hit you on Monday, and I'll be with Ralph Sharaga and Ray Clifford. So until then, this has been Marty Schupak for Jets Rewind Plus. Please let people know, and please make a comment, positive or negative, and please like us. Give us a thumbs up, and please share it us and with all Jet fans that you know. Until next time.